All right. Welcome everybody to this week's Vibe Code Circle session. This week I'm going to be covering Google AI Studio and one of their language models called Nano Banana. That's an internal name. It's got another name I'll talk about in a second. And Nano Banana is great for image manipulation. So what's Google AI Studio? It's basically a playground for developers and creators to experiment with Google's AI models. It's designed to be intuitive. It has a very simple interface that you'll find in use in a lot of language model interfaces. Again, it's a playground where you can prototype. It's accessible. It's free to use, even if you don't have a paid Google plan. There are some credits available. I'll talk briefly about sort of a little bit of a trick right now you can use if you run out of Nano Banana credits and you want to keep going. And it's multimodal, so you can do images, audio, and even video. So what is in AI Studio? It's got a chat where you can chat with the language model. You can ask questions, summarize text, have it describe or ask questions about images, or even YouTube videos. You can stream, and we'll go over that in a little bit. Stream is really powerful. I'll talk about some of my uses for it. It's sort of one of those capabilities that you can use it for a lot of things, but it's you got to practice and learn a little bit to understand when you would want to use it. I actually used it for my taxes this year. And you generate media. That's your Nano Banana. There's also VEO. And you got build, where you can build applications or application prototypes. And then you got a history section where you can access your past conversations. All right, so what are some of the advanced chat capabilities? We'll go over these in a second. You have the aforementioned Nano Banana. You've got URL context, where it can basically read content from a website. It's got native speech generation, and it's got live audio dialogue. Google is really good about confusing customers, so they've actually got a couple of sites that are overlapping capabilities. A lot of folks are probably using Gemini.google.com. I do. It has a lot of similar capabilities, but today we're going to be talking about AI Studio, which is a little more developer focused, but keep in mind a lot of these same things you can do in Gemini. All right, so Nano Banana was the internal code name for Gemini 2.5 Flash Image. It is the state-of-the-art AI-powered image editing tool. It's basically solves a lot of the problem, or behaves a lot better for generating images than a lot of other previous models, especially at the current price point. It lets you have more control over the images that you generate, and maintains things like character consistency from scene to scene. And so some of the core capabilities of Nano Banana: you can manipulate photos, you can swap out backgrounds, you can create virtual experiences, you can edit hairstyles. There's a lot of use cases in this area around marketing, where you can create product photos, set a scene in the background, the sort of thing that you would have paid a professional graphics artist in the past a lot of money to put together. You can do on the fly and inexpensively in Nano Banana. Some of the commercial uses, 3D integration, image fusion, AI art, and not the corny looking AI art. You can really create some awesome photorealistic looking stuff. And social media and branding. A lot of folks are using these image generation capabilities to put out social media content, and a lot of it is really, really yucky looking, and you can definitely spot it as AI. But with Nano Banana, some of the examples you'll see posted out there of what people have been able to do is just amazing. And all right, so you got everyday interior design. You'll see on the web, there's all kinds of cool examples of people creating ads, having consistent characters, as I said, for things like comics and animation. You can do family or kid visuals, travel or location overlays if you want to see yourself in Paris or whatever. All right, and it's accessible for everyone. So a lot of language models out there, the expensive image ones, up until now, You had to have very expensive subscriptions to access them, or they didn't give you a lot of credits to play around with it. Not so much with Google AI Studio. It's really, really cool, the limits they do. I do have a pro account, so I've got more. I'm probably not going to hit the ceiling here. And in the Nano part, I have heard that if you go into incognito part, you sort of renew your credits when you log in incognito mode. So without further ado, here's Google AI Studio. Starting with the top left, you got the logo, and then you got the core capabilities, the chat, which I talked about earlier. And here's Nano Banana for image generation, URL context, native speech, audio to audio dialogue, stream. And I'll go over these capabilities in a minute. Streaming is really cool. Like when I was doing TurboTax this year, and I would get stuck, I would share my screen with Stream and say, how do I get to whatever section it is I was having a hard time finding in TurboTax, and it really helped me. I've used it for developing too, which is great. And then build for building applications, and we're going to use these. And then history, where you can just see your history of past conversations. So I'm going to start up here with chat. I'm going to do some Nano Banana ones, because that's what we're all here for. This is the fun. I'm sure folks saw the letterhead, and that's sort of the buzzword right now. And I sort of pre-prepared a few ones. If anybody wants to chat a prompt they'd like to see, I'm going to show you some examples. So the first one, and these are based off of tips on how you should prompt differently for Nano Banana to get really the results that you want. The first tip is to be really hyper-specific. So I actually used another language model to help me come up with a hyper-specific prompt. And I say a photorealistic full-body portrait of a sunken city guardian. It's an ancient automaton, partially reclaimed by nature. You can see this is a lot of flowery words and stuff, and let's see what it comes up with. So again, this is like trying to be hyper specific. There we go. Check that out. See how fast it was? Let's see if I can make it bigger. Look at that. Just a few years ago, you imagine how much you'd have to pay a graphic artist to come up with something like that. Oh, let me check my chat, see if anybody's All right, no? All right. Next example, I'm going to do, this one is providing context and intent. So the intent of this prompt is going to be to create a key visual for the title scene of an indie video game called Astromancer's Folly. The mood should be lonely, mysterious, and awe-inspiring. And then we'll give the description. Let's see what it comes up with. Again, like it's pretty amazing how fast it is. It's 7.6 seconds to generate that last one. Bang, here you go. So a lone silhouetted figure in a long tattered cloak stands at the edge of a floating shattered piece of planet. Below them is swirling deep purple nebula. In the far distance, a colossal ringed planet hangs in the void. A single brilliant lens flare emanates from the distant star, catching the edge of the figure's hood. The composition should leave empty space on the right side for the game's title text. Look at that. Bang. There you go. Edge of the planet, flare, amazing. So the next best practice is control the camera. So like in any like photo shoot or virtual photo shoot, you're going to be controlling camera angle and the type of camera that you're using. So for this one, we're going to prompt to use specific photographic and cinematic terms that dictate the exact composition. So let's do this one, this last one. There we go. Boom. All right, so this we're asking for a macro shot using an 85mm portrait lens of a single drop of dew clinging to the tip of a blade of grass. The background is a soft autofocus bokeh blend. So here you go. If I showed this to you on a website, I think you would be hard pressed to tell if this was a real photo or something AI generated. It's almost impossible now with the kind of capabilities you're getting with Nano Banana. The lighting should be gentle and backlit, making the dewdrop refract the morning sun like a tiny, brilliant jewel. The focus is razor sharp on the dewdrop itself, with the rest of the grass blade fading into a soft blur. All right, next best practice is iterate and refine. So this is a two-part example. This is the first one. I'll go ahead and enter it and read it off. So there we go. So create an image of a cozy, cluttered artist studio. There's a large wooden easel in the center with a half-finished oil painting of a ship at sea. Jars of paintbrushes, scattered tubes of paint, and messy rags litter the tables. There you go. Okay, so there's your easel, artist evil. There's all the jars of painting equipment, just like everything was asked for. So now we're going to refine that. So, and this is really important. This is really the power of Nano Banana. In the past, a lot of these image models, if you reprompted, you would get something that was totally different. It would change the photo so that it became very difficult to just slightly alter the composition. Here we go. So that's a great start. Now keep everything the same, but change the lighting to be late afternoon with warm golden light streaming in from a large window on the left. Add a fluffy ginger cat sleeping in a patch of that sunlight on the floor. Let's see how it does. There we go. There's a cat sleeping on the floor, late afternoon light. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. All right, so now is the next concept is called using semantic negative prompts. So this prompt avoids negative words like no people or no buildings, and instead use something to positively describe a scene of isolation and nature. So I'm going to go ahead and enter that prompt. So, a vast, untouched alpine meadow during the summer, completely isolated from civilization. The landscape is a rolling carpet of wildflowers, purple lupine and yellow daisies, crystal clear, shallow stream meanders through the scene. In the distant, jagged, snow-capped mountain peaks rise against a clear blue sky. The atmosphere is one of pristine wilderness and profound silence, a place entirely undisturbed. So as this generates, so this is going to work because it responds better to descriptive things like a pristine wilderness, profound silence, or entirely undisturbed. They paint a clearer picture than just saying like, don't do this or don't do that. Incredible, right? All right, so next one is fixing character consistency drift. So this prompt is designed to be a master prompt for a character, which you can use to reset their appearance in a new conversation if they start to change over multiple edits. So I'm going to go to this prompt. Here we go. Whoop, hold on. There we go. Let me check my chats again real quick. All right. So this is a reference sheet for my character, Kayleen. Kayleen is a male, half-elf rogue. His face is angular with high cheekbones, a sharp jawline, and a faint, thin scar running vertically over his left eyebrow. His eyes are a striking amber color, and his short, messy hair is the color of dark charcoal. He consistently wears a high-collared, dark teal leather tunic over a simple gray undershirt and a pair of worn, dark brown trousers. He has a single silver hoop earring on his right ear. So here's the reference sheet for the character. So when you've iterated on a character about 20 times and notice the hair is suddenly brown or the scar vanished or you start a new conversation, use this highly specific prompt and sort of reset it back to what it's supposed to be. All right, last best practice I'll go over, understand aspect ratio. So the prompt describes the workflow that leverages how Gemini handles the aspect ratios of multiple uploaded images to create a specific composite. So there's some rules here. So first, upload tall portrait-oriented image of 9:16 ratio that you've already generated. Darn it, hold on. I think I'm losing my connection here. There we go. Close-up of a nice orient helmet, gleaming helmet. Then upload a wide landscape image, 1916:9 aspect ratio, a chromatic battlefield. And finally, use the text prompt. Take the knight's helmet from the first image and place it on a spike in the foreground of the battleground of the second image. So that final composition will use the full landscape aspect ratio of the battlefield scene. I've got my screen right here. I think my computer connection is starting to flake a little bit. I apologize for that if you guys are seeing flickering. Anyhow, so I'm going to go to Canvas. So the problem with a lot of these rules is they can be hard to remember, and it takes a lot of time to learn. And next week, a new model might come out. I thought for the next part of the exercise, it might be interesting to actually use the build part of this, and we'll build a tool to help us prompt. So here's like that guide, like the sort of like how do you prompt Gemini 2.5 Flash, which is Nano Banana. I'm going to copy that. I found this on Facebook. It was a pretty nice short description of these rules. And then I'm going to go over to build. So if you've used Google Gemini, build is similar to their Canvas. So what I'm going to say is like, well, you know what? It would be great if I had a tool to make these prompts, so I didn't have to remember all these rules all the time. I had a tool I could go to and automate it for me, and I thought it'd be a cool example of what you can do to build your own little tools for doing these things. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it. I'm going to say, I would like a form application to generate AI prompts using the following guidelines. And I'm going to go ahead and paste in those rules. So those are the rules. There we go. Let's see what it does. All right, so here it is thinking in the background here, designing the components, mapping the components, outlining the application. All right, here we go. Now it's generating the code. Now, if you were one of my previous sessions, you've seen a couple of these AI code generators. These are all pretty similar. It's generating React code. I think you can toggle it in here between React and one of the other frameworks too, but they tend to default to React. So it's generating all this code on the fly to build that form. See, it's created a button, text area, input, label, card, generated prompt form. All right, there's our form. Ooh, that's dark. They even incorporated the banana from Nano Banana. So here we go. So now I've got a web form, right? It took all of those sort of rules that we were working on earlier. So core, subject, and details, context, and intent. Oop, hold on, my screen just blanked out again. Sorry about that. My computer completely died like 2 days ago, and I got one new one coming in the mail tomorrow. But this one keeps blanking out. I had to rebuild the hard drive in the last 2 days. All right. So here's the form again, and we could core subject. I'm gonna say an elf, climbing a mountain. And you can just fill out the form and generate prompt, and it'll sort of combo all of that. And then you can, if you build these sort of tools, you can improve them all the time. You can say like, I'm like, well, this is great, but like, what if I typo? And it would be cool if it could like improve the overall prompt, because like a prompt cobbled together by filling out all these fields. So then you could say like, please add a feature to use AI to improve the prompt when I click on generate prompt. I don't like how dark it is. I'm going to tell it a lighter background too. Give the form a lighter background. It is hard to read. There we go. And so, as easy as creating applications with AI, you can see like building these sort of tools yourself and having them just, off to the side to use as job aids is going to be like a key part of working in the future. And something you would have had to hire a developer or be a developer to put together before. All right, so it's planning the light theme, finalizing the implementation details, refining the implementation strategy, initiating light theme adjustments. All right. And now it's integrating the Gemini API. Hopefully it's not sticking my key in there. Hopefully it's hiding my key somewhere. I'll be curious to see what kind of security it automatically builds in. Integrating AI prompt, updating Gemini integration, initiating AI prompt integration, initiating UI enhancement, updating Gemini workflow, initiating UI refinement. It's cool that they show it thinking. It gives you a better understanding of how the things are working in the background. It's probably good that it not be totally magic, that you do understand what it's doing. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to update my code. I think, is it starting? All right, now it's updating the code. Going, generate prompt at TSX, header, prompt form. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Let me check for comments while I'm over here. All right. Oh, hey, your screen's not showing anymore. Oh, you see not the screen. Oh, wow. Yeah, you guys still, I'm sorry, 1848. All right, can you guys see now? I'll reshare. I'm going to stop and reshare the screen just in case. Window. Okay. Can you guys see it now? Somebody comment? All right. Brad or Linda, if you guys can comment, if you can hear me now. Oop. Can you see the screen? No. Well, that's interesting. Let me switch scenes. Let's see if that changes anything. And then reshare, stop screen sharing. Oh, oop, that just went away. All right, let me try it again, share. Okay, Brad and Linda, how about now? Brad said yes a minute ago. Something is there on the screen. It is a form. Can you guys see like a large white block? One error, autofix. Yes, white main. Yes, it's generating. It ran into an error. I had to tell it to fix the error. It's white. Yeah, it'll render in a second. Give it a second. Sometimes it'll run into errors like that, and it'll debug itself. So it's analyzing the code to figure out where the error is. So hopefully it'll come back. Revising React dependencies, analyzing dependencies, analyzing app loading issues, revising dependency resolution. There we go. Here are the updated files. Okay. And these tools will get better with time. Oh, still white. Yeah, that's still white. It's regenerating the code. If you guys can see here, a little green dots down in the corner here. It's going step by step. It's regenerating the code to fix whatever broke the app. Rendering. Yeah, error again. We'll get one more time. Uncaught error. All right. Well, while that's doing, I'm gonna run in a second one. I had stopped. Let's see here. Do. Let me find out my last prompt. Okay. I am going to see if I can share. Let me try. That one looks like it's horribly broken. So I'll share another one that I made earlier, and we'll try it, give it a second try. I had done a test earlier. All right, here we go. Essentially, it's the same thing. It just iterated slightly different the last time that I tested it. So we're going to go ahead and give it one more time in this prompt, see maybe if this does a little better than the last time. But sometimes that is the truth about a lot of AI, vibe coding right now, is that it's the 80-20 rule. A lot of times you get to the 80% point really quick, and then you spend a lot of time trying to fix that last 20% to fine tune it and really get it working. All right, let's hope this one does better. Can you guys see the new screen with the blue form? All right, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Let's hope it does a better job this time. All right, getting close. Icons, fingers crossed. All right, here it goes. Fingers crossed. Wow. Well, there we go. Well, definitely went brighter. Can you guys see this? All right. Here we go. A garden gnome climbing a brick wall. There we go. Let's see here. He's got green, sparkly eyes and a big, fluffy hat. I don't know. So let's just go down here, and I'll just pick some of these like camera shot options indiscriminately. Square. Let's see if it obeys the aspect ratios. Okay. All right. And then we'll hit approve. Let's see here. See if it does improve. Maybe it'll fix my spelling error. Apparently I spelled gnome wrong. Oh, wow, look at that. I would say that's an improved prompt. So let's go ahead and copy that. And let's see here. How do I go? I don't want to lose my changes though. Let me see if it'll pop another window. Make sure it's logged into the right account. There we go. Go to chat. Got a Nano Banana again. And then we'll paste in our new prompt and run. See how it goes. Oh, wow. That is incredible. Kind of creepy though. That'd be a good Halloween one. Look at that. So there you go. That's Nano Banana. That's Google AI Studio, and we built an app. I'm going to go stream. I'll show you the stream one. This is actually really cool. This is practical. Like I don't know about you. A lot of times I'll be using an app, especially if it's one like TurboTax or some other application you just don't use all the time, so you're not super adept at it. And you can actually speak to this. I tested this earlier. I couldn't because my mic is going into this into the recording studio. So I'll have to type this prompt probably. So I'm going to go ahead and upload a file. I did a screenshot earlier. Let me see here. What is that? Downloads. There we go. So this is just a random screenshot I took earlier of another application. And we'll just use it as an example. Okay, so I'm going to ask it to say, what is this a screenshot of? Let me make it bigger.
This screenshot appears to be from a website promoting Creator LMS, which looks like a platform for creating online courses and monetizing knowledge. It highlights features like course creation, analytics, and payment processing for educators or creators.
Look at all that. So that's a screenshot, and it's correct. It was a screenshot I took of a new learning management system called Creator LMS. Maybe we'll ask it, how could I, if this was like, say this is your website, and you're like, man, I'm not getting any business. Like, how do I improve this landing page? All right.
To improve the landing page, you can focus on a few key things. First, make the main headline even more clear and compelling, immediately showing the unique value proposition. Second, simplify the layout to avoid distractions and make it easy for visitors to find the information they need. Third, include strong calls to action, guiding users to sign up or learn more. Finally, adding testimonials or success stories could build trust and encourage conversions.
That's great advice. You go hire a web developer, you'd probably pay them a good penny to get that advice. And, I have not tested it for this specific purpose, but let's test to see if it'll do a mock-up. Can you do a mock-up of an improved landing page or a prompt to generate one? Let's see what it does.
I can provide a prompt to generate an improved landing page design. You could suggest a design that features a clean, modern layout with a prominent headline that clearly states the benefit of Creator LMS. The design should include clear sections for features, perhaps with visually appealing icons, and a dedicated space for testimonials. Ensure there are clear call to action buttons, making it easy for visitors to sign up or learn more. The overall design should be clean, professional, and user-friendly.
All right, I'm going to see if it'll give me a prompt I can use in a AI code generator to make a new landing page be super detailed. Let's see if it'll do that.
Prompt for AI code generator. Generate a modern and visually appealing landing page for Creator LMS, focused on encouraging users to monetize their knowledge through online courses. The page should feature a clean, minimalist design with a prominent hero section at the top. The hero section should include a bold headline, like, "Turn your knowledge into ink."
Yeah, I think the audio's flaking out, but it's still generating the prompt. Probably a bandwidth thing because we're live streaming off this machine. All right, still, that's good. It's a nice long prompt. Wow. All right, is it done? All right, that's pretty long. There we go. So let's take this, and then let's go over back into build. Paste it into build. See what it does. And you can kind of get a feel why they're calling this a developer playground, right? This is just really cool. Like, you can test ideas out. Imagine if you're a consultant or you're working in an organization and you want to show them, ideas on the fly. Take a screenshot of the company landing page, ask it how to improve it, and have it generate the new landing page so you can show them right on the spot. It looks like another React app. Look at that. I said, was it 10 pages of code so far? As a person who used to handwrite code all the time, this is amazing stuff. I think it's getting close. While this is doing its thing, I'm going to go ahead and paste the URL in here into the chat just in case you guys want to try it out afterwards. Boom. All right, let's see what it came up with. Turn your knowledge into income with Creator LMS. It's okay. And it looks like it used a placeholder image. Everything you need to succeed. Effortless course creation, member management. You see little animations, hover over effects when you hover over these cards. In-depth analytics, smart automation, seamless payments, gamification. Loved by creators worldwide. Frequently asked questions. So this sort of thing, like frequently asked questions, really helps the page search engine optimization, SEO. And it's got a footer. Look at that. I mean, it's not perfect. And again, you can fine tune this as you go along, like we did the other prompts. So that's AI Studio. Do you guys have any questions? Post them in the chat here. If not, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm going to keep doing these. And if you have ideas for things you would like to see, go ahead and either message me. We do have a website as well. There we go. The website has like an online forum, vibecodecircle.com. You can go and I can go ahead and sign in too. And we share working on adding more and more content there. It's really hard to communicate via Meetup. They don't make it really easy to communicate back and forth. So if anybody's ever used Circle before, like the circle.so, the community platform, this is essentially a clone of that in WordPress. So if you can, please join up vibecodecircle.com. And I hope you learned a lot from here. If you guys have any questions at all, hop on the forum or send me a message, and I'll be glad to help. If you have a project or an idea you would like to see during a demo, go ahead and send me a message. If you want to actually participate live and co-host one of these and show something cool or try something cool, I'm down with that too. Thank you all for coming, and have a fine Thursday evening. All right.